Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Hi. There it is. Oh, dramatic pause. A real dramatic pause. Please, you should insert crickets into that one.
I probably could, but
that would take effort, and we should be better at this. Right, there you go.
They're the crickets, but not on time.
Not on time. But hey, you got there, and that's what's important, which is also what your wife said last night. Boom! That just happened.
She's sitting right here, too. You want to talk shit? Yell at him. Oh, he's an asshole.
Technically, I was talking shit about you.
He was talking shit about you, talking shit about me.
No. I was talking shit about you.
Talking shit
Evelyn's
about
a rock star. You were the one I was making fun of.
See, now you're covering your tracks, you big man.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is the show called? This is We Should Be Better at This. I'm Eric. He's Chris.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And we before we get started, I want to just get this off my chest now. He hasn't seen Boba Fett yet, and I've seen it 3 times. So
wow, it's
you
that good that you've seen it 3
idiot.
times?
Yes, I've seen it 3 times. And there's a mid-credit scene that I did not know about until today.
So
my wife didn't even know about it yet. No, I just pulled it up on YouTube. But beside that,
oh man, I gotta watch the credits. Okay.
What did you say last time we talked about this show? What did you say that you wanted to see? Do you remember?
Hardcore porn. I mean, listen, it's really time that Disney
Star Wars
isn't so PG. I really felt like Boba Fett just full on pounding Leia Organa. There's a Boba
Fettish movie out there somewhere.
Oh, of course there is, and I'm starring in it. I play Jango Fett.
Do you remember what you said that you wanted to see?
Some cool kick-ass fighting.
Somebody writing something.
Wait, so what? Repeat that. Yes. I mean, come on. Boba Fett has to ride the Rancor. The Rancor has to eat people, rip people apart, or he has to ride in on the Rancor, and people literally have to go, "Oh shit, he's on a Rancor." Like that moment is what I've been waiting for since the Rancor was introduced.
Well, enjoy that when you finally watch it. So
I hope. Wait, because I haven't seen it. I hope it's this big moment. It's all built up. Here comes Boba Fett on the Rancor, and he rides in, and then someone from far away shoots a blaster and just kills the Rancor immediately, and everyone just stands around going, "Oh shit, that was fast!"
Like Indiana Jones, where the guy comes up with a sword and swings it around a whole bunch of things.
Yes, I just want it to be like this big moment of he's coming in. Oh my god, he's riding a Rancor. Here goes a blaster, and the Rancor just drops, and Boba Fett goes, "Well, that was a waste of time."
That may or may not happen, but until you watch it, you will not know.
I will not know. I will be watching it. The thing just came out Wednesday. The fact that you've already watched it so many times, I'm jealous. It's only Friday, and I know I should have watched it by now, but
you always wait for your family, which I do. Also, I wait for my wife and my son.
It's really hard to be a single father nowadays and just raising kids. And
did you kill your wife?
No. She's locked up in the basement. I throw down food occasionally. But she's still alive, at least when I checked on her on Tuesday.
I just figured you moved to Texas and they just exported her.
You know what's funny? When we were first moving to Texas, the only reservation she had about it, the only one where she was so on board, she was so with it. The only holdback was she goes, "I don't know if I want to move to Texas as a Mexican. What if I'm like the outsider because I'm like the Mexican girl and it's a bunch of hit cowboys that are taunting me and teasing me." That was literally, she was dead serious. And I said, "Honey, Texas is a border state too. There's lots of Mexicans there. This is not going to be oh my God, this isn't like you're moving to Montana where they're like, what's the Mexicans,
Yeah, that's Washington State. Oh, right, harvest season.
Yeah, then they love Mexicans when it's harvest season, but then it's like go home when you're done. But she was all worried about it. I'm like, it's a border state. It's like California and Arizona, Texas, New Mexico. They know Mexicans. They know of them. They're around.
They've even stole their food. They call it Texican.
Yeah, Mexican food from Southern Cal. There's not many things that are better in California that are in Texas. Like I think Texas is kicking California's ass right now in a lot of ways. But one way that California is like way better is the Mexican food.
Oh yeah.
The Tex-Mex is stupid. It's a stupid concept. Southern California Mexican food is the tops. So.
Well, they just do that there to keep their green cards. So anyway,
yes.
I'm glad
I haven't watched it. I'm gonna watch it. Then let's talk about it next week because I'm sure if you're building it up this much, I'm gonna like totally be into it. So
dude, it's great. It's really fun to watch.
Oh, well, that's good. Because like I said, we talked about before, there was about a 2-episode arc there that I was kind of losing. I don't want to say losing interest, but I wasn't as excited about. And it really came back with The Mandalorian.
You know what's funny is those episodes were all about Boba Fett and the other ones are about not Boba Fett. So you really like The Mandalorian more than Boba Fett is what you're saying.
Well, no, because I really dig Boba Fett because I really liked the first 2 episodes of Boba Fett that were about Boba Fett. I just thought that there was like a lull, which all started with those stupid little Disney park friendly teeny bopper bad guy group, like that was I think where it went downhill for me. But I'm in, I'm excited. Something else that I normally get very excited about, but honestly am probably not even going to watch is this year's Oscars. Yeah, that too. No, so this year's Oscars were announced, and I used to be the person who would see every picture nominated for Best Picture and Best Actor and Best Actress. Like that was always a goal of mine. I would go see it in theater, in whatever. And like the past couple of years, I think ever since they expanded it to 10 nominees, which let's face it, we're now in a period where they release like 30 movies a year. So 1/3 of the movies are going to be nominated for Best Picture. Like it's
yeah, I mean, once we get ramped back up, there's gonna be a bunch more movies. They're gonna have to expand from theatrical releases only because people aren't gonna want to go to theaters to
but to prove my point, I'm going to read for you the nominees for Best Picture. Now remember, this is supposed to be the best of the best, and I want you to tell me honestly if you could tell me what any of these movies are about. Okay, I bet you my guess is you're going to be able to name 3, maybe 4 of these movies tops. Ready? Here we go.
Okay.
Number 1 is Belfast. Tell me all about Belfast, Chris.
Oh, it's about Belfast, the town over in Germany.
You're on. Damn it, you're right. No, Belfast is about a young boy and his how he grows up. Next,
is it Belfast? Is it a typo?
Ball drop? My balls dropped. There's the movie scene. How about the movie Coda?
I love the Coda Cabana. I love going there. It's so much fun.
Well, here's how the New York Times describes it. Coda, a voice of her own, an open-hearted embrace of deaf culture.
Is it a Pixar movie? Somebody die in the beginning?
No.
Okay.
This one you might know because you've seen it, I'm sure. How about Don't Look Up?
Oh, I love that movie. That's fun.
But do you think it's Best Picture nominated?
Oh, no,
any
not
other year
at all. No.
In any other year would it be nominated?
No, not at all.
Okay. How about Drive My Car?
I'm sorry?
It's not Dude, Where's My Car? Which I've seen.
To that?
It's Drive My Car. Now, to be fair, I have heard this movie is actually quite excellent. It's an imported movie. I think it's a Japanese
Just
movie.
like every car.
Yeah, right. It's a Japanese movie, just like every car. I hear it's a very, very good movie. No actors that you would know in it. It's a movie made in Japan. How about Dune? You've heard of Dune. You've probably seen Dune.
Yeah, I saw it. It was as boring as the first one.
Yeah, I know. It was way better, like photographed. I mean, it was a beautiful movie to see.
Cool, but what was the plot?
What was the plot? I was in the same boat. So once again, in any other year, would it be nominated for Best Picture? No.
It would get like a CGI or whatever that award is.
Yeah, the what is it that we awarded these the night before and some telecasts because you didn't want to see any of this shit.
Yeah.
What about King Richard?
You know what? I saw that. It wasn't bad. That's all I could say.
Yeah, I heard that it was actually a pretty decent movie overall.
I think they hyped it up too much.
Yeah, they did. Now, here's a movie that I actually want to see, haven't seen yet. Licorice Pizza. Can you tell me about Licorice Pizza?
I've heard about it, but I don't know what it is. Can you refresh my memory?
It's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and then Licorice Pizza was the name of the record stores in Southern California in the 70s, and it was also where you would go to buy all your drug paraphernalia because they had like rolling papers and whatever. So it was like the kind of the place to hang out, right? Like you hang out, you listen to records, you get high.
Nice.
And this movie is about that period of time, and I hear it's very good, and I'm interested in seeing it, but wouldn't consider it a big release. Next one I did see, and I actually really liked Nightmare Alley, but I like old stuff. It's a remake of a 1947 movie, but this one in 47 they couldn't go full risque because they had a code they had to listen. They couldn't be as dirty. This one is where they based it on the original source material, so they could go a little bit more risque in it. I thought it was very good. It was a little boring and long, but it was like well done and good. And then next up, what about Power of the Dog? Have you seen Power of the Dog?
I don't like dogs.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I know I don't. Is it like a new car instead of horsepower? It's dog power. Like what's going on?
No, it says it's a new take on the Western.
Staggering. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just reading the New York Times review. It's a Western, The Power of the Dog. And then finally, West Side Story, which, by the way, in my humble opinion, even though I respect Steven Spielberg, amazing director, when you're doing a shot-for-shot remake of a classic, you don't deserve to be nominated for Best Picture
100%.
Because you didn't picture anything. You didn't write anything. You didn't change the narrative. You didn't do anything different. You literally shot it from the same angles, from the same everything. How can you be nominated for Best Picture? So
I agree. That shouldn't be there at all.
Right.
Just like Dune. Dune was the same shot.
It's
just
the same
people
stuff.
walking in sand.
Some other kind of interesting nominations, and I won't go through everything, but Best Director, obviously it's going to be the same people that were nominated for Best Picture, so that's nothing new there. Best Actor, Javier Bardem from Being the Ricardos, which is a movie that was about.
Did you watch that?
Ricky. I did. It's pretty interesting.
It wasn't bad. I liked it.
Yeah, it was based on a book that both Monique and I had read, so we were really interested in seeing the movie because we read the book.
That's right. You guys know how to read. That's right.
We do, and we occasionally read a book. Benedict Cumberbatch, Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield from Tick Tick Boom, which
I think he might win. I saw that. That was really good.
Will Smith from King Richard, and Denzel from Tragedy of Macbeth, which I think they just want to keep nominating Denzel. Like, I don't think that he does one movie a year and they're like, yep, you're automatically nominated. You're Denzel.
Just falls into that role.
Yeah. But other than that, as I'm scrolling through here, nothing is very interesting. I mean, it's a bunch of the same movies I just read you. Okay. Same thing with Best Original Screenplay, all the same. Original Screenplay, all the same. Animated Feature.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
Okay, except for I'm going to name you 5, and you'll only be able to name 2. Number 1, Luca. Did you see Luca?
Yep.
Wow, you're kind of an idiot. What about Flea?
I did not see Flea. I don't know what that is.
Mitchell's versus the Machines.
Yes, and that's very good. And now that I'm looking at this list, I think they're going to win. Yeah, that's a very good
they also have Raya the Last Dragon and then Encanto.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be a split vote because they're both Disney.
They're both Disney. Now, my youngest daughter did really like Encanto.
It was good. I liked it.
But yeah, production design, I think Nightmare Alley should win because they recreated that period of time really well. But yeah, everything else is just like I don't know. So I was thinking about this. I'm like, the past 2 or 3 years, I've been so uninterested in the Oscars. I think they nominate shitty movies. I also think that they've obviously are way too political. Even if you agree with what they say politically, like you kind of just don't want to hear it. Like we get enough politics.
I also think that they're just trying to fill now because there's not enough content. So
there isn't.
Right. A lot of this is just filler because of COVID. And hopefully in the next, 2-3 years, it picks back up.
So I wanted to get from you, and I know I'm putting you on the spot here. How would you fix the Oscars? I have an idea. What is your fix though?
Why don't you have a Spider-Man up in that bitch somewhere? Is this
fantastic
wrong
idea? Because by the way, it was also an excellent movie. Like let's get past the fact that it's a superhero movie and everyone likes to shit on superhero movies. It was really freaking good, and everyone in the world saw it.
Why isn't that in here anywhere?
Well, so here was something that was proposed. I don't know how I feel about this because I think it kind of bastardizes it. It's a little too MTV Movie Awards for me, but they did talk about having a category called not epic. What is it called? Blockbuster. Best big movie of the year. so that
Money
they can
grabber.
get Marvel movies in there, and so they can get other big movies in there, and they thought that might attract viewers. But yeah, that would attract viewers for that one segment when they give out the award, which we all know that they're going to save that award till pretty close to the end. So all you did is increase viewership for 15 minutes. You didn't really do anything.
Exactly. And let's think about it though. Like if you go back before Marvel movies were huge and before, Captain America was whatever, the Lord of the Rings, that would have been the comparable movies to what they are now with, fantasy and fighting and all that stuff. They won a shit ton of awards.
They won all the awards.
Yeah.
Like they were winning awards that like they didn't even deserve. It's like best use of a ring. Hey, we just invented this category.
Film editing, too. Cinematography, actor, picture, production design.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah, in fact, why did they win all these awards yet all the Marvel movies are shunned?
Yeah. In fact, to your point, because this proves your point, the only movie or the only category where it's anything like that is nominated is visual effects. The nominees for visual effects are Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and Spider-Man No Way Home.
See, now that should be the best picture.
Right? Like, now I don't agree that Dune should be in there, and Free Guy was just a fun movie. I wouldn't call it a best picture, but here's the thing. Of all the movies I named for you for best picture, I enjoyed Nightmare Alley and nothing else really, and I might like Licorice Pizza, but I don't know yet.
Don't Look Up was good. I like that one.
Okay, I haven't seen that one yet, but visual effects, Dune. Did I find it boring? Yes. But was it like interesting because it was pretty to look at and interesting? Yes. Free Guy was interesting. No Time to Die was interesting. Shang-Chi was good. Spider-Man was fantastic. Like the visual effects category to me is more interesting than the whole other damn list.
I agree. I think it's stupid that they shun them like that, especially since they brought back so many different variations, so many different actors, so many different storylines that all kind of collided and none of them really got rectified in a sense, but it all happened. Like that alone should be like, there should be a category, movie with the most magic.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the hiding of all that. And I mean, there was so much behind it and then it just pulled off. It wasn't cheesy. I mean, there were some parts that were a little campy, but it should be.
Okay. By the way, it's okay to be campy. Like campy is not a bad thing. It's a bad thing if that's all you got. A little bit of camp is fun because people like nostalgia. So here's my idea. Tell me what you think of my idea on how to fix the Oscars.
Okay.
It actually has nothing to do with, first of all, just reduce it from 10 pictures. Like you don't have to nominate 10. I don't think there's years where 10 movies got made that were any good. Sometimes it's 4 movies. Like just do the amount of movies that qualify, whatever. That's first. But anyways.
Well, there should be a stipulation to that. It's like 5 movies that were nominated and then the 3 top grossing or something.
Yeah, there you go. That's a great. So here's my idea. Okay. Lately, every time someone gets announced as a host, you can go back to Chris Rock and everything. They find some way to cancel them. And then they have to do this like thing where we're doing no host this year. And then it's like, oh, and no one watched it. Right. So
or they bring, but no host, but they have 2 people that are going to be on stage a lot between everything.
Which is kind of defined as a host. I don't know about you, but if I got hired to do that job, I'd be like, oh, so you want me to host? No, you're not hosting. Oh, but I'm standing on stage and introducing a bunch of shit. Yes. But I'm not a host? No. Oh, okay, great. Thanks. Here's my idea. Don't announce the host until the day of. In fact, not even the day of. Curtains open, boom, out comes Chris Rock, right? Think about it. People would tune in to figure out who the hell the host was. You would also not have the ability to cancel them or pull any of this last minute bullshit, right? Where you get someone through. I think you would attract viewers because people would be able to prepare. And you know, like right now, when Chris Rock, when they first did it, and they kicked him out for it wasn't Chris Rock. There was another
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart deserved to host. He absolutely deserved to host. And it's funny, we're always talking about inclusivity and equality and getting more minorities to do whatever. Great. Let's put a black man as host. No, we don't like a joke that he told. Well, he's a comedian, so F you. Who cares what joke he told? But the problem is you can never fight that battle and win. A little too woke. It's more woke than joke. You could put that as the name of this episode.
I need a shirt.
But anyways, this gives them none of that opportunity, and it lets the comedian or whomever you get to do it prepare how they want to prepare. Because what happens is they get all this flack and then they start to think, I better tone down, this, or I better not do this joke or whatever. It affects the performance. I say you go all out, do whatever the hell you want. Because, hey, if you do something stupid, it's going to be on you. But do whatever you want, no censors, no nothing. And we're not going to announce who it is until the curtains rise up. That's how I would change.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And then altering some of the categories like we discussed would
I really
increase.
like your idea of pick the 4 movies that you think are like good, really good movies that deserve to be nominated, and then pick 2 movies that were, or 3 or whatever, that were the highest grossing, and
Yes.
then let them vote on based on that amount, right?
Yeah, and I mean, if it's across Netflix, if it's a movie on Netflix where they can share the analytics or something,
Yeah.
then it could be like the top 4 movies that grossed and or had the most views or downloads or whatever.
Problem is Netflix is never going to share their analytics. But
no,
anyway,
because they're jerk faces.
So coming up this Friday, as I move on to another segment, coming up this Friday, or excuse me, this Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday, of course. And that means it's time for the guy known as Mattress Mac. He's a guy who owns a furniture store. And I believe, I can't remember, I think it's in Texas, and it's in Houston, Texas. So he has this like huge furniture store that mainly sells mattresses, right? He's like that guy that goes, "Oh, your thing is free." He's one of those guys, right?
I used to drive you
right?
crazy.
Remember that? Yes.
When I lived with you, when I was freeloading off you.
Yes.
You'd be like, dude, I pay rent here. And I'm like, I don't. So I'm going to scream as loud as I can.
Yes. But anyways, every year for literally like the past, I mean, I don't know, like 15 years, he makes some like crazy, outrageous bet. Okay. So I'll read you a little bit of the story. So his name is Jim McInvale, also known as Mattress Mac. Sold so much furniture in a week that he could afford to place another giant Super Bowl bet. $5 million were bet on the Cincinnati Bengals to beat the Los Angeles Rams.
Pause.
He owns Gallery Furniture in Houston.
Okay, pause. He must be drug trafficking if he sold that much in a fucking week.
I don't know.
5 million.
This guy's pretty famous. I'm sure the feds are watching him close because he does.
Oh yeah, he's laundering the shit out of money. Go forward.
So he drove across the border to Louisiana and pulled over to a rest stop and placed the $5 million, because you can't bet in Texas, so he had to go do it in Louisiana. But he bet
that's the same thing about abortions.
Zing. He made a $5 million bet on the Caesars Sportsbook mobile app, which by the way, I don't know if I trust an app to like, hey, so I deposited my $5 million and I'd like to make this bet. And they're like, what $5 million? The $5 million I just deposited. You don't have any $5 million. What are you talking about? $5 million? Like I would trust an app. But anyways,
I would have drove to Vegas.
He always combines these bets with a promo in his store, right? So he's doing a promo in a store, offering a full refund on any purchase of $3,000 or more if the Bengals win the Super Bowl. He's basically using his bet to mitigate the risk from the giveaway. So what happens is everyone goes in there and buys a mattress and goes buys furniture and whatever. And if Cincinnati wins, he refunds all of your money.
But you have to go in on that Sunday?
No, you have to go in. I think you have like a 1 week or 2 week span. You have like a week and a half. You have like 10 days to go buy stuff. And if you buy it and the Bengals win, because it's whoever he bets on, then he refunds your money for that purchase. But what's great is he probably doesn't care, because he's probably going to do $3 million. He's going to have to give back $3 million in whatever, but he's going to win $5 million. Right. So he's still going to come out $2 million ahead. Plus he sold a shit ton of furniture. And then what if the Rams win? So he loses his $5 million, but he probably sold $3 million. He sold $3 million in furniture. And he's like, whatever, I only lost $2 million,
Okay. So with that being said, how many beds did you want to buy?
I don't know, but I'm kind of like, I'm so damn tempted, because I'm thinking, like, I told Monique, I said, if we were going to buy furniture and stuff like for the house, like this is the time to do it, because you're kind of gambling as well. You're like, I don't know. I kind of think Cincinnati might win. And even if they don't win, we still needed the furniture anyway.
You're going to get the furniture anyway. This way you have a chance of like not having to pay for it. So I would.
So let me ask you this. Is this guy crazy, or is he crazy genius?
A little bit of both. Probably. I mean, he had $5 million to make a bet, and he just drove across the border and put it through an app. He could have
Hold on a minute.
Bought a flight.
Hold on a minute. I didn't read the rest of the story. I'm just now reading this.
Oh.
The $5 million is in addition to the $4.5 million he bet last week on the Bengals.
Wow.
So he has a total bet of $9.5 million. It says if the Bengals win, he will win $16.2 million.
Wow. How many if the Bengals win, how many people on Twitter you think are gonna like try to steal his identity and be like, I'm giving away $1 million to somebody that shares this and shit like that?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's probably not a bad idea. It says Caesar Sportsbook says the $5 million bet is the largest single wager the company has ever taken, eclipsing the $4.9 million single bet that was made by Mattress Mac last year at the Super Bowl. But that's what so that's this guy's scam is. I don't want to say scam. I think it's genius.
That is genius.
He makes these bets knowing he's going to sell a shit ton of furniture and mattresses and stuff.
Yep.
To help supplement his like, oh, if Cincinnati does lose, oh well, I probably only lost half the money I bet because I made up the rest on sales. Yep. If they win, oh well, I have to give a bunch of money away, but I won $16 million.
This dude probably has zero money in the bank.
I know. I kind of wonder. And you know what? You're probably right in that he has some sort of federal investigation underway. Like, oh yeah, there's got to be some sort of like the FBI's like, I got to keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah, no, he's working as an informant or something.
All right, man. Well, one more before I gotta go. I want to do a quick SMRT.
I am too smart. I am too smart. SMRT. I mean SMART.
All right, Chris, we're going international for this SMRT. Shit. We're not going to Florida. We're not even going to New York. We're not even going to the Florida of the Northwest, Washington.
That wouldn't be international.
We're going international. We're going all the way to the wonderful and I'm sure very
Olympic Games.
Great company or people to be with, the Russians.
Oh, yeah, they're fun. They're always in a hurry. Okay,
so this is yet another example of an amateur artist thinking that they can touch art pieces in a museum. Ooh. So this happened in Russia. It says, what is it with amateur artists believing they can approve acclaimed work? Yet another work of art has been altered by someone who had no business picking up a pen, although this one might be easier to fix than most. Artist Anna Leoporska's 3 figures was recently on exhibition at the Yeltsin Center in Russia. Now, so since you can't see this, since this is on a podcast, it's almost like these, they look like aliens and it's just people's faces, but the faces are all blank. Okay. And it's like a sea of people, but every face has no face to it. Okay.
Okay.
So it says the faces on the figures were blank with just a suggestion of what the features might be until a bored security guard who had been working a 10-hour shift decided to pull out a ballpoint pen and draw in eyes and a mouth on all the figures. Shared a picture of the artwork before and after it had been vandalized. They did not immediately respond for comment. The painting is valued at $5 million, which means Mattress Mac is going to buy it.
Yeah, right.
So you kind of remember there was the other art disaster. There was I think the meme is called Potato Jesus. That's how it was, the meme of it, where they turned it into, like, the lady tried to improve the artwork. She just randomly thought she could draw on the artwork, and she did, and everyone calls it Potato Jesus. There was another one where someone accidentally ruined a painting and thought they can fix it, and no one knows, so they kind of tried to draw it in and fix it, except for when they drew it, it made him look like Nicolas Cage. So if you type in St. George Nicolas Cage, because it was supposed to be St. George, and they made him look like Nicolas Cage. It's pretty funny. And then there's the really famous Virgin Mary that was repainted by the furniture restorer who ruined it, and she thought she would fix it and try to repaint the Virgin Mary, and it looks like the ultimate smear job. It looks like something my daughter would have done when she was 4. But it says, so this was, by the way, the security guard's first day on the job. It says his first day was a 10-hour shift, and it quickly became his last day as the guard got fired, and the artwork was sent back to its Moscow gallery with the hopes of trying to restore it and bring it back to normal. Except for he's only going to be fined $534. But because it's Russia, a 1-year labor sentence. That's where they put you into one of those prisons where you have to, like, break rocks and, like, lug big heavy things up a hill.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun at all, but still what a story to tell,
right? Like, he's like, hey, why are you in here? Murder. Why are you in here? I committed treason against my country. Why are you in here? I got bored and I drew faces on a thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the picture of the Virgin Mary that got restored, quote unquote.
Yes. Oh my gosh, isn't that the best?
Oh my god, it's just ridiculous.
Isn't that the worst? But the fact that she thought, I think I could fix this.
Wow.
Look at the one. See if you could look up did you find the
Nick Cage one?
Nick Cage one?
Yeah, it's disturbing.
Yeah, Potato Jesus is also pretty funny because I just think that it's funny that they call him Potato Jesus. But if you look at the original, if you just type in Potato Jesus, they'll show you the original and then they'll show you what the person did.
Yeah,
it's absolutely horrible.
It is a potato.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is hideous.
Yeah, it's like nightmare fuel is really what it is. It's horrible stuff.
Nightmare fuel. I'm gonna make that the name of the episode.
There it is. All right, everybody. Well, that'll do it for today. Before we go, Chris, what is your prediction? Who's gonna win and what's the final score of the game?
Rams win 34-28. Or Bengals win 14-10.
Okay. So my favorite thing is how when everyone predicts the Super Bowl, they always predict it to be a really close score. You ever notice that? Every analyst on ESPN, whatever, it's always like the Super Bowl is going to be 30-29. It's going to come down to a last second field goal. No one ever predicts the Super Bowl to be like 55-3, right? Like, here's what I'm predicting though. The Rams will win 31-14.
Wow, 31-14.
I'm predicting a little bit of a blowout. I think that Cincinnati will not be able to contain the Rams pass rush and Joe Burrow will be on his back a lot.
You know what I think is probably going to happen, and I don't like saying stuff like this, but I think it's going to be one of those things where something from one team or someone from one team is going to get hurt, and that's going to be the thing that's going to make that other team lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know. I feel like that's going to happen, and I hate feeling that way, but that's, with the teams that are going in, man, they're both badass. So I'm
yeah, and it's fun. It's gonna be a fun Super Bowl. All right, well, since I'm sure both of these predictions will be 100% accurate, I'm gonna go bet $5 million on it. So I got to get going. So next week we will talk Boba Fett and of course the reactions from the Super Bowl amongst many other bullshitty type things, which is what we do. Go to thisisfunner.com for all kinds of like entertainment needs.
And season 8 of this, listen to this, coming out in a few weeks.
Season 7.
Season 7 of Listen to This. See, I knew that.
I'm already working on season 8, but season 7 will be coming out what, in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that?
Something like that, depending on how drunk I get tonight.
All right, fantastic. All right, everybody. So I'm now ready for you to accidentally delete all the files. Excellent.
I'm gonna do that. All right, say goodbye.
All right, bye, everybody.
Catch you later.
Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.